Hey, greetings. I've tried to record this about 4 times now. It may be that I'm not in the right headspace for recording videos. And I've been, you should have seen the previous takes, so bare in my soul, telling you everything. I'll have to delete those so no one sees them. So what this video is a kind of response to a number of people who very kindly sent me some feedback. They've watched my videos and my presentations, and they've taken some time out and given some thought and very lucidly and carefully kind of provided constructive feedback. And I haven't, in some cases I haven't responded to it, which probably makes me appear, a bit of an ungrateful bastard or something like that. And they may have been left wondering if, this feedback has upset me. And I guess it has really, but I will take ownership of that because, there's no reason for me to be upset by constructive feedback. It's kind of my stuff. Personal things around me that have made me kind of take offence and be upset about that, because I know it's come from a really nice place and a warm, kind, loving place. So what's it all about? Why do I kind of struggle with that? I struggle with it because in terms of presentation and in terms of my ability to regularly put out YouTube and Patreon videos, I feel like I don't really have a choice in how I present. I feel like it's kind of me or nothing. And the style that I've decided to go with, actually style is the wrong word really, is just to be that really, is to be very informal, very natural, very much who I am. I do plan some of the videos and others I choose not to, and some are kind of semi-planned or semi-structured. But I think if I try to do it in any other way, then it would take me longer, I would lose the spontaneity of it, and it just wouldn't happen really. So I kind of am what I am, I think, with these videos. I mean, I've done kind of, presentations where I've, put hours and hours of work into it, and, mega preparation and stuff like that. And I've spoken at, professional conferences and things like that. But I really like just being able to just be me and present in this informal, natural way. And the downside of that is, sometimes I like somebody losing their marbles. I sometimes lose my thread. There's lots of ums and ahs. I might repeat myself, from time to time. But I kind of like to think that these things are kind of idiosyncrasies that some viewers might enjoy. I'm fully aware that a lot of people prefer a much slicker presentation, and in some cases I do. There are people that I follow on YouTube, some of whom are very slick and some of whom aren't. So there's different reasons why I guess you like somebody and follow them and listen to their material. So I suppose I'm me, and in order for me to sustainably and continuously do video output, I need to continue to be me, really. And if I tried to adopt a slightly more slick persona, then it wouldn't really happen, really, or it would happen much, much less. The other thing is technology. I am very poor with technology. So one of the difficulties that I have, and this is why I don't want this to kind of turn into a pity party, although I like the name pity party. I think I might have a pity party one day. Is I'm very neurodiverse. Camera's taking a bit of a slide. So that's me talking about how I'm not good with tech, and there's a good example. So I have difficulties. So first of all, one of the things that the neurodiversity does is makes me very spontaneous. The other thing it does is it makes me very absent-minded. So I kind of have to be in the moment, and I'm very bad with following instructions, and because I also have dyscalculia, which is a kind of difficulty with numbers and sequencing. I'm very poor with IT and with tech, and that combined with difficulty with instructions, machines and tech and equipment are a nightmare to me. You know, a new piece of kit is not something I welcome. You know, it's something that really stresses me. So I'm not great with the use of the camera, and that's why I use my iPhone, because it's one piece of kit. But I hardly ever use a laptop even. I use my iPhone for watching films and everything else because I can become familiar with it and reasonably competent with it. So, you know, I could be doing things a lot better in terms of, you know, cameras and lighting and all kind of thing, but that's an absolute nightmare for me, really. And I like to do stuff in the moment, so sometimes it's me holding my camera at the bus stop, you know, literally. So I'm going to try and be concise, because the last couple of videos I've waffled like crazy, even though, you know, I guess it's kind of appropriate because it's kind of kind of burying my soul kind of video where I'm just being me and sharing that that's what I do, really. I do want to improve things, but I'm resigned to the fact that there are things that I can put my energy into and get some benefit from, and that I can improve, and things that might make me more, you know, more of a kind of mainstream presenting style, but actually that wouldn't be me, and you wouldn't be getting the real me, and something would be lost in the process, really. So I do, one of the areas where I do want to, I do, you know, need some more help with tech, and with producing videos and editing them and that kind of thing. But I don't want to go to, you know, it's like, for example, I don't like PowerPoint presentations. I think they ain't got no soul. They're very kind of soulless. So I think in a way, you know, I could maybe get somebody to help me so I can have kind of, you know, written things on the screen and stuff like that. But you know, but actually, you know, I quite like to, you know, whip out a whiteboard or a flip chart or something like that. So this is how it's kind of going to be, really. And thank you so much for taking the time out to, you know, to share your thoughts and that kind of thing. So in terms of kind of like the marketing side, the editing side, that kind of thing, I do have somebody that helps me, but I can only pay for limited hours. One of the things that I'm hoping that the income I get through Patreon is that I can pay for somebody to help me with those kind of things, and those kind of things can be a bit smoother. I mean, I don't like shaking cameras. I don't like it when I get my thumbs around the back of on the screen and that kind of thing. You know, there's things I do want to improve. For the life of me, I can never work out how to position this iPhone so I can make eye contact. Sometimes I seem to have reasonably good eye contact, and sometimes I can't. I think it's to do with which way around I put the phone, but that's something I have a real difficulty with, is like, you know, things like that. That's part of the neurodiversity. If you're interested in neurodiversity, I've done lots of videos on it, including a series called Neurodiversity. But I've touched on it in a lot of others, including things like pathological demand avoidance, which is something else that I suffer from. I say suffer. Neurodiversity is, you know, I think for the most part is a difference, not a disability. Though it can bring disabilities, it can also bring great gifts. So what it does, and this is a kind of good way to sum up, I think, is it often creates people that are what I would call spiky. Okay, so they can be highly skilled in some areas and have great deficits in others. So on average, you know, people reach a certain kind of functional kind of standard, and you would expect them to be kind of, you know, reasonable all-rounders. You'd expect to have a reasonable grasp of maths and a reasonable grasp of IT. You know, physical things, you know, like skills, the ability to learn skills and that kind of things, like physical skills. So, you know, I don't have that. I have this real, you know, extreme, if you know, spiky as in on a graph, not spiky as in, you know, sharp. So there are areas where I can be extremely creative and think in a very different way, and therefore, you know, I can do some interesting and useful and important stuff in life, and I do. And there are areas where, you know, my ability is, you know, extremely restricted and very undeveloped. So that makes life kind of interesting. It makes it hard in some ways, but also, in a way, it also kind of forces me into being even more creative, because I have to find ways around the deficits and ways to maximise the skills. So in that way, you know, it kind of forces my mind to think in different ways. And that's what I think I have to offer really, is being able to think in different ways, communicate in different ways, so that I think maybe people who are also neurodiverse will maybe get my presentation on something where they wouldn't get somebody else's, albeit that other person is more educated, more eloquent, more skilled. So, on that note, one of my little nickname I kind of sometimes use for myself is Spiny Norman. So some of you will get that reference. So I hope that didn't come across as a pity party. Just wanted to explain where I'm coming from really, and who I am, and I'm going to carry on being me. It'd be great to kind of do me a bit better. Definitely working on that, but there are things that I'm not going to put my energy into, and there may be a cost to some of that. I know there's a cost to some of that. There's a cost to a lot of the things. For example, the fact that the channels I do cover so many different things. That's a product of ADHD. Now, all the advice that you get on YouTubing and stuff is it's have a very distinct remit on your channel. Don't cover too many things. And I know that that's going to hold me back, but I have to cover loads of different things because that's kind of who I am. So I have said far enough. My voice is getting hoarse. I will say goodbye for now, and thank you again, and please forgive my ungracious response, or my lack of response, but hopefully this video kind of tells you where I'm at really. So lots of love, Rangimarie, catch you soon.